is Mick Dawson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Leinster Rugby, which is a rugby club in Dublin, as you know, in the capital city. And that's what I do. We run, not only do we run the professional game, but we also run the game in the province. So clubs, schools, referees, you name it, we're responsible for the whole of rugby in the province.
And what are your sort of weekly or maybe monthly objectives on that kind of basis in terms of your position?
Well, I suppose I have a management team reporting to me from all the various different sectors. So obviously on a macro basis, from a commercial and revenue generating point of view, it's very important that we have sponsors, big sponsors. It's very important that people turn up through the turnstiles. And the head coach will report to me as well. And it's very important obviously that the team are competitive and winning and living up to supporters' expectations as well. So we also have to mind our stakeholders, whether they be sponsors, season ticket holders, committees and all that sort of thing. So it's a fairly broad brush, and as I say, then we're in charge of one of the things that's very important is the development of the game, bringing younger players through, whether it's through the academy, through the school system, through the club system. So very broad brief.
What sort of ways do you measure progress? What sort of key performance indicators do you use?
Well, the KPIs, like with the professional team, getting the top four in the Pro 12 and getting out of our pool in the Europeans. And that's how we would measure our approach. Now obviously there's a lot of other things that go on, and the players are responsible for an awful lot of that. They're the two kind of constant indicators from the professional team. In relation to the amateur game, we've a service level agreement with the IRFU because some of our funding comes from the government. So we're measuring numbers that are participation, number of coaches, number of referees, number of players. So there's a lot of measurables in there. On the commercial side, the measurables are how much money do you generate. So that's basically what we do.
And just finally, looking ahead to the future, how do you see the sort of business growing, especially with regards to the recent developments in Europe? How do you see things changing in the business of rugby in the next couple of years?
I think the principles will be the same. I think that there'll probably be more money. I think from an Irish perspective, I think one of the things we're going to have to look at is probably some private investment into our clubs to help us stay at the pace with the English and French clubs as well.